All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. We've got Nick Saran here with us from the CRMLS, and we are so excited to have him. He's going to be going over Cloud CMA and some best practices. So take it away, Mr. Nick.
Great. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. And so what I wanted to do is talk about Cloud CMA. So in this training, I will go over how to search comparables using the MLS system and taking those comparables into Cloud CMA and creating a listing presentation, right? A CMA report. First thing I would start off with is setting up your Cloud CMA account. So if you have not already done that, my recommendation would be to log into Cloud CMA from your association dashboard. There are a few settings that you would have to set up before you start to use Cloud CMA. If you don't know what Cloud CMA is, it's a tool available to you as part of your membership with CRMLS, which allows you to create flyers for a listing. You could also create a property report for marketing purposes, and you could also create a CMA report within Cloud CMA. So first thing you want to do is log into Cloud CMA from your association dashboard, okay, which will be here. So you click Cloud CMA here, and that should log you right in. I'm not sure why I'm getting these error messages recently. At first time, if you've never signed up on Cloud CMA, ask you to set up your account by entering your name, your email address, and I believe your phone number, a few things they would ask you initially. Once you have done that, it should be a single sign-on going forward. So when you click on Cloud CMA on your association dashboard, it should log you right in. Right. So it brings you right here to your home page. Very first thing you want to do to set up your profile is you click on this little circle on the top right corner. It will show you your initials if you have not added your photo. I've already added my photo in Cloud CMA. So if you don't see your picture here, it will show your initials. Click on your initials, and then you go to account settings. Right? Account settings. So once you click on account settings, you will then be able to add your picture. Just waiting for that to load up. There we go. So right here, it will say change avatar or select avatar. So I've already have a picture added, so it gives me a choice to change. And right here, you will be able to add your company logo. So it gives me a choice to remove my company logo, but you will be adding a new logo if you have not already done that. And then press save. Here's another tip. If you would like to use a different name, or maybe if you're working in a team, you wanted to use your name on all your CMAs, right here under full name, you could change any name that you would like to use on future reports. If you're building a CMA report or flyer, that is the name that will be used on all the reports. So you could change that here and click Save Profile. It does not change back into the MLS. It only changes the name in Cloud CMA. Right, so under Settings, the next area you want to visit is Contact Info. You want to make sure all your contact information is updated in Cloud CMA. Only item that will be added by default in Cloud CMA is your DRE number. Will be the only item that will be added. You want to add rest of your contact information from this drop-down list. If you're adding your email address, select email and then enter your email address. Click add, and that contact information will be to the list. You can move this contact information by simply clicking and dragging and dropping that contact information around, right, in any order that you like. If you misspelled something, you simply delete, right here, click on the trash can icon to delete, and then re-enter that contact information. Oh, there you go. And you just simply drag and drop that contact information in any order that you like. So those are two areas that you wanted to update before getting started with Cloud CMA. Again, click on your initials, account settings, add your photo, your company logo, and then contact information is adding your contact information. Okay. Once this is done, let's talk about how do we search comparables, how to search comps and building a CMA report. So I'll use this listing to find the comparables for. So this is the property in Lakewood. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, expired listing, listed for $630 for 1,400 square feet, but close to 5,000 lot size, 2-car garage, listed on the market for 16 days before it was taken off the market. So I wanted to use this property as an example to search comparables. These are your steps to find comps in the MLS. So to search comparables, you click on the search tab. And then click on residential if you're looking for residential comps. If you're looking for residential income comparables, lease, land, mobile home, or commercial. So you start with the detail option. And once you click on detail, it brings you to a search page. Now, there are two different ways you could go on about searching comparables. Some agents would like to add the criteria first, then they would go onto the map and highlight the neighborhood. I personally prefer going to the map first, highlighting the neighborhood, and then coming back and adding the criteria. Now, here's a few things I always recommend agents to do before searching comps. Number one, make sure you're familiar with the subject property. If possible, make sure you're able to visit the subject property so you can see the condition of the property, the layout, and features the property may have that you may not find on a report online. So make sure you physically see the property that you're comparing with. Number two, make sure you're familiar with the neighborhood. Very, very important. Make sure you know the boundaries of the neighborhood. Make sure you know the area that you're going to be selecting to search comparables. Right, very, very important. I've seen some agents, they will just go into the MLS and will just draw a circle, and they might overlap another different neighborhood, and comps from different neighborhoods are included in their search. So make sure you know the boundaries of the neighborhood, very important. Now, when I go over to the map, I will enter the subject property address to find where the subject property is located on the map. So here's the address of our subject property. So once I press enter, and I've located our subject property, right? And it showed me all the properties that have been listed around in this neighborhood in the past. So to get rid of those properties, you zoom out. So you click on this minus symbol to zoom out. Click on it a couple times, maybe 2-3 times to zoom out completely or enough that you're able to see the neighborhood that you're going to be using for comparables. All right. The next step is to just decide if you wanted to draw a circle, a radius, or if you want to draw a polygon shape. Now, how do you decide which shape should you draw? Depends on the layout of the neighborhood. Typically, if there is a freeway very close by to the subject property, I would not use a radius because radius will overlap the other side of the highway. Typically, that tends to be a different neighborhood. So in that case, I would use a polygon shape. Right, so you decide which shape will be best fit for your comparables in that area. So here I'll just draw a circle just to show you how that works. So if I want to draw maybe a 1 mile radius, you point away from the property. So just a little bit away from the property, click one time and you drag the mouse. So as you're dragging, it will highlight the neighborhood that you want to focus on. Right? So that's a 1 mile radius or close to 1 mile radius. If I want to draw a polygon shape, okay, click on draw polygon here on the top, and then just start to highlight the neighborhood that you want to focus on. Okay. Can you decide how far you want to go or where are the boundaries of the neighborhood and just highlight. Okay. Now, once you have completed that shape, so this is the area that I'm planning to use for my comparables. So once I've highlighted my area, then I'll go back to criteria. Here's a little tip. If you want to see the boundaries of the city, so for example, here we're looking at Lakewood. I want to see what are the boundaries of the city of Lakewood. You could see them by clicking on this icon called layers. Right here on the top, right underneath criteria, you have this icon called layers. You click on layers and then check this box for city. And this will show you the boundaries of the city of Lakewood. Right? So you notice here, I'm actually going a little bit into Cerritos. This property is on the borderline of Cerritos and Lakewood. See, these are the boundaries. So I'm actually in the different city right now. I'm so searching in properties in the city of Cerritos right now. So, but I could get rid of those properties very easily. So even if I overlap another city nearby, I can still get rid of those properties. Let me change the shape just.
Don't talk on your hives. Oh, I'm on a Zoom training.
All right, so again, just highlight the neighborhood that you want to focus on. So we'll just use this area. So even though if I'm, overlapping Cerritos, I could get rid of those properties. So once I've done that, go back to criteria. And then on your criteria, you want to select your status. There are 5 statuses that I would recommend that you should choose for comparables: active, Active under contract. Active under contract means that are taking backup offers. Those properties are still on the market and they may have an accepted offer and taking backup offers. Pending sales, properties that are currently in escrow. Closed sales. Now for closed sales, it will go back 180 days automatically. If you want to start with last 3 months, first go ahead and change that number to 90 days instead of 180. So we'll go 190 days back. And the last status you wanted to select is hold do not show. The reason why I like to pick hold and not show, those are the properties that are not being shown. They're still on the market, but for some reason they're not showing the property. Maybe the seller's gone out of town, or they're having some repair work done on the property. So you are familiar of all the properties that are being sold in that neighborhood, including hold and not show. My next criteria will be the subtype of the property, if it's a single family or condos. So in this case, we have single family. So we have 135 properties available. Always keep an eye on the matching number, which should appear on the bottom left corner. It will show you how much inventory is available, how many listings are available so far. My next criteria will be entering the name of the city. So as we notice that my search or my area that I selected is overlapping another city in Cerritos. So if I choose Lakewood, it will remove all the properties that are in Cerritos. So keep your comps in city of Lakewood. So you want to select the name of the city as well. My next criteria will be the number of bedrooms. So our subject property here is a three bedroom home. So I wanted to find comps that are also 3 bedrooms. So if I choose 3 bedroom, it gives me 92 comparables that are available. What if my subject property is a 4 bedroom? Then I'll look for comps that are 4 bedroom. There's 12 comps available. If it was a 5 bedroom, then I'll choose 5, and there are 5 comparables that are available. So first try to look for comps with the same number of bedrooms if possible. Now in this case, if I'm looking for 5 bedroom comparables, very small sample of comparables. So in that case, I will search for comps that are between 4 and 5 bedrooms. So to pick up more comparables, to have bigger sample size of comps available. So then I would use a range between X number of bedrooms. So let's go back to our 3 bedroom homes. So 3 bedrooms, we still have a huge number of comparables, 92 comps that are available. My next criteria to bring the number of comps down would be the living area square footage. For living area square footage, you want to start roughly 20 to 25% living area differential compared to your subject property. So whatever your subject property square footage is, so it's 1400, you want to start roughly 20 to 25% less than 1400, and then 20 to 25% more than 1400 square feet. That's your starting range. Now, there's really no one answer to the range. It depends on the number of comps available. You may adjust that number to go maybe over 25%, or you may go under the 25% depending on the number of comps available. So I will search for comps that are maybe, let's say 1200 to 1600. Right? So 12 to 16, that gives us 40 comparables, right? 40 comps available. So there's a huge sample of comparables still available. So I'll search for between 13 and let's see, 13 and 1500 square feet, right? That leaves 23 comparables. All I'm doing is adjusting that number, getting more closer to our subject property square footage to find comps that are similar in living area, right, of our property. Let me see, I believe we have a question here. Appraisers try to keep at 10% plus or minus, I've read. Paul, here's one thing I always recommend agents to not do is to not be an appraiser, right? If you try to do all the things that appraisers would do, you're not going to find many comparable, very small sample of comparables. Typically, you as a realtor's job is to find out what is the best price to market your property, able to sell the property for the fastest you can, for the most amount of money you can, right? So your goal is try to sell the property for the most amount you can. Sometimes you may end up selling it for more than what the property value is, right? Appraiser's job is to determine what a bank will what a bank would consider this property, the value of the property, right? So it's a little bit too different. I understand the appraiser side of it. I mean, you wanted to try to value the property as what appraiser may come up to, but typically I would recommend not following all things that appraisers would do, but rather look at what's selling in the market, what other properties are selling for, and then try to list your property at that price. I hope I answered that question a little bit. And again, I agree with you with the appraiser side of it, but a lot of times you may not find many comparables uh, if you follow that. So typically I would kind of go with that number. As you can see, there's 13, between 13 and 1500, we have about 23 comps. Now, if you were to do 10%, my experience, I've seen you don't find many properties that are 10% living area square footage, right? So you may have to go with a little bit, bigger range. All right, so we have 23 comps now. Typically, I would recommend um, coming up with roughly maybe 15 to 20 comparables for your review. We're not going to be using all 20 comps, but good big sample size of comparables for your review that you may want to use in your comparables. So this is a very healthy number of comps, 23, but in some cases you may not find 23 comparables. You may only find 10 comps by the time you enter the living area square footage, a bedroom count. So you just work with what you have, right? So now here we have, actually, you know what, I'll adjust this number to maybe 1350, right? So we'll just do 1350 to 1500. Again, now you can see a big change, right? 13 comps are available now within that range. So again, as you make some adjustments, you may find, different number of comparables. Let's go with the 23 comparables. We get a little bit bigger sample size of comps. Now, once you have done that, next step would be for me to go to the map. Now on the map, I want to see where these comps are located, right? So location of these comps. So generally, I wanted to visually see where all these comps are located. These different colors represent listing status. The red color is closed sale. The green color is active. Orange is pending sale. The purple is hold do not show. And if you see a blue, I believe actually blue is hold do not show. No, I'm sorry, active under contract, sorry, yes. So blue color is active under contract. You don't need to remember these colors or what they represent status. If you click on the property icon here, it gives you the current status of the property, right? So the red is closed sale. So if you ever forgot, just click on the icon and it gives you the current status of the property, right? Now, what I also like to do here on this map, if I notice there are a few properties very close to our subject property and I wanted to have them selected, I would click on the comp and then just put a check mark right here. So this way, this comp will already be selected when I go to results, and then I could still decide if I want to use this comp or not. Right, so here's a couple of these comps. I'll just select them based on their location, right, where they're located. So I'll select a couple of these comparables here, and there you go. Now, the next step is the most important part in your CMA, which is reviewing the comparables and doing all your research of these comparables. So you want to go to results. From the back, we'll go to results. Now, when you are on the result page, if your comps are not already sorted by status, looks like here there's quite a few sold comparables in this area. So if I wanted to sort them by status, you just press the letter S right here on the top. Right, click on the letter S, and this will sort all your comparables based on the status. I could also, to eliminate some of these sold comps, I could go back to criteria, and instead of 90 days, I could say maybe 75 days back, right? And that leaves us with 20 comparables. So we're looking at comps that have been sold in the last 75 days or less, right? So you could also do that. So again, click on the letter S to sort all your comps by status. Makes things very easy as you're reviewing those comparables by status. So we have 2 active comps. There's 1 active under contract. There are 3 or 4 pendings, and there are a few sold comparables, and there's 1 hold do not show on the very bottom. Now, my next step will be to click on the first comp. Take a look at this comparable. Now, I have 20 comparables. I'm not going to be spending the same amount of time on each one of those comparables. So I would recommend when you are reviewing these comparables, take a note of a few things that will maybe that you will consider um, having this comp being used in your CMA, like maybe the price, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, few of the things that you feel that are similar and could be a good comp for you to use, and then start to do more research and learn more about these comparables. If you know that there's a big difference and it's maybe not a good comp, just move on to the next one, right? So you're not spending the same amount of time on every comparable. Um, okay, we got a question here. Do the sold comparables show what it was sold for? Yes. So we will talk about that once I get over to the sold comps. Now here's an active comparable that we're looking at. So it's a 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,300, 5,000 lot size. So as you can see, very similar to our subject property, right? So it's about 100 square foot difference in the living square footage, and you have the extra 100 here on the lot size, compared to our subject property. So this property is listed for 719,000, and there's obviously a price reduction. If you point on the price, right arrow, this will give you the previous listing price. So they've reduced the price by $10,000, right, from the previous price. It's been on the market 22 days. Take a look at the pictures, right? So you also want to look at all the pictures, see the condition of this comparables, condition of this comp. So looks like in a pretty decent condition. Let's take a look at real quick on our subject property so you have an idea what you're comparing with. So this is our subject property that was expired. So it looks to be okay, okay condition, right? So it doesn't need a lot of work. It have some upgrades done on the property, right? So as you browse through the property, so that's the whole purpose of actually being able to visit the property and see this property in person. It will make things very easy for you when you're reviewing your comparables, deciding which comps are similar to your property, right? So looking at the subject, this comparable now, again, a little similar. I mean, it has some upgrades done on this property, on this comp. So next, oops, sorry, there we go. So it's 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, everything is the same, 2-car garage detached. Now the days on the market, right? So you want to click on days on the market to see if there's been any changes in the property. We noticed there was a price change. Looks like they reduced the price about 10 days ago. So it dropped it by $10,000, right? So again, take a note of all those things, right? There's been price reduction, differences in the comparables. So you're able to communicate all this information to your seller. Also look at cumulative days on the market. Cumulative day market will show you the history of the property, showing you if this property had been listed before. So it looks like this property was sold back in 2016, right? So last time the property was sold, and the sale price then was 592,000 was the sale price, right, in 2016. So it shows you the history of the property every time the property was listed. So it's been sold a couple times in 2005 and then 2016. Now it's listed again in 2020. Right. So again, take a look at all the details you can that you can share with your seller. Right. Okay, so Christine just asked, how am I able to go back and forth between subject property and comparable? So what I did here is opened new windows. I'm sorry, 2 different windows. I have one window here, and I'm still logged in Matrix, showing me the subject property. And right here is the second window is where I search for comparables. Now, if you're wondering, how can you open up multiple screens? And that's one of the benefits when you're able to do multitasking. You hold down the control key on your keyboard. If you're using a Mac, you hold down the command key on a Mac and just press home right here. And this will open up another window, right? So then you could search for comps or anything else you want to do on a second window. So that's why I'm able to kind of go back and forth and look at both properties, right? So again, go through all your comparables and do all the research you can. The more familiar you are with the comparables that you're planning to use in your CMA, the more confidence you will have in your listing presentation, and more confidence will result into a trust, and then trust result into a possible contract, right? So it's all about trust, how much the seller trusts you, that you are knowledgeable and you're giving them a fair value of the property, right? And the trust only comes with knowledge, and knowledge comes with by doing your homework and doing research. So all those things fall up down about starting with researching, right? Do a good research. Um, how do you do the T screen on the Mac again? Yes, Melissa, for Mac, you hold on the Command key, Command button on your Mac, and you hold that down and then just click Home. So holding down the Command button and then press Home. For PC, it's a Control key, right? Control or Command. All right. Now this could be a very good comp. So that based on my research, if I want to use this comparable, I'll just go ahead and put a check mark right here. Right. Now to move from one listing to another, here's a little trick. If you notice there's arrows on your keyboard, left arrow, right arrow. Pressing the right arrow brings you to the next listing. Pressing the left arrow brings you to the previous listing. So you don't need to click on next or previous on your screen to navigate through each property. Just use arrows, left and right arrow. Now here's another comp, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Again, do all your research of these comparables and decide if you want to use this comparable. All right, so again, let me just take a look at the comp real quick. Again, notice in the pictures, seems like, has some good updates done on the property. Seems to be in a pretty decent condition. So if I wanted to use this comp, again, guys, here's one tip when it comes to listing property. Have a professional photographer come and take pictures of your property. It will go a long ways. It will show the property much better than just you haven't taken pictures. Unless you're really good with taking pictures, that's fine. But try to have a professional photographer come and take pictures. You notice this property has 75 pictures, but there are some pictures that really don't show the full room. So make sure you take some good pictures. Right, that's very, very important. All right, so so again, this comp here is listed for 760. Again, there was a price reduction, $20,000 price reduction just happened yesterday, actually. It reduced the price. Again, take a note of all those things, right? So there's been price reductions and what properties are listed for. So again, go through a list of all the comps. So here's an active under contract, 1,400 square feet, lot size, a little bit bigger, slightly bigger than our subject property. So again, decide if you want to use that property or not. It's a trust sale, standard trust sale property. If I'm looking at a closed sale, so this one's a pending sale, 685,000. Again, look at all the features, decide if you want to use this comp or not, right? For closed sales, so once I go over to properties that have been sold, it will show you the listing price and the sale price right here. So this was the listing price. So this is a closed sale we're looking at. The listing price was 699,000 and the sale price is 710,000. Right? Now, here's one thing I would also recommend doing, confirming that the property was actually sold and it was sold for this price. Right? This is what the listing agent is showing, or they, enter this information on the listing as a price to verify if this is the price it was sold for and this is the date when it was sold. So right here you will see the listing or sale date, which is right here. So July 10th is a sale price or sale date, right, on this property. So to verify this information, you click on the parcel number right here. There's a parcel number. You click on the parcel number. This gives you the tax information on the property, gives you the current homeowner's name and information. As you scroll down to last sale price or last market sale and sale history right here. So it was sold on July. This was when it was recorded, and the sale date was also on. No, I'm sorry, actually, you know what? The sale date based on tax record was on May 27th when it was sold. It was recorded on July 10th. Right? So there was a delay in recording. So the actual sale date was on May 27th, and it was sold for $710,000. So you're able to verify what's been recorded in the tax record. Again, click on the parcel number. You want to do that to all sold properties to verify that information. So again, go down the list and select all the comparables that you feel will justify your listing price. How many comps should you select in your CMA? I would recommend somewhere between 3 and no more than 4 comparables for each status. So try to include 3 actives, 3 solds, 3 pendings, and no more than 4 for each status. And that will put you somewhere between 8 and 12 comparables to get all together. So I'll just select a couple of these pending sales that are available, and I'll select a couple of these sold comps, right, to justify our price. Right, so I've selected a few comps, so I have 9 comparables that are selected. So I have one hold do not show. Actually, you know what? There's a couple more comps. Let's see. Remove some of these comparables here. Again, I could use the hold listing as an active comp. So if I don't have enough active comparables, I can use that. So now I have 10 comparables that I've selected. Right? Once you have selected these comparables, you could then build a CMA report using Cloud CMA. Before I go into Cloud CMA, I wanted to show you guys one other CMA option, which is a great feature for buyers. When you have a buyer thinking about putting an offer on a property and you want to search for comparables to see if the property is listed at a right price, right? You can maybe look at all the sold comps in the neighborhood or properties that are currently active in the neighborhood, and you wanted to create a simple report that you could share with your buyer. Same process, you search for comparables, do the research, decide which comps will justify the listing price. And also, actually, you could use this report for your open house as well. So if you're doing a flyer for an open house and you wanted to add on the other side, the second side of the flyer, you want to add these comparables, just a one-page report. You would fill that report once you selected these comparables, you go to print right here, go to print. And then on print, you would select quick CMA right here. So you go to print and then quick CMA and you click on print to PDF. It's a one-page report. May carry over to your second page. The second page is just the criteria. You could, you could just disregard that page. But the first page is the one that will show you these a summary of all the statistics based on the comps you have selected. So this is a really good report to either share with your buyers to justify the listing price if you're putting an offer on the property, or if you're doing a flyer for a property and you wanted to have some comps included on your flyer, just print this report, print this page on the other side of the flyer. Could be a great benefit. So again, this is under print. So when you go to print, select quick CMA. Now, if I wanted to build a CMA report for a seller, use Cloud CMA, which is right here on the bottom. Click on Cloud CMA, and this will bring all your comparables into Cloud CMA, and you start to build a CMA report. This part here, building the CMA report, should take you no more than 5 minutes once you have created a template. So I'll show you how to create that template that could be used in the future. So anytime you build a CMA report, it'll be just a few clicks and it creates your report, right, after you have selected your comps. Smith, and here's our subject property. So I'm going to enter our subject property address, and it will autofill some of the characteristics based on the tax records. And if there are some missing details, I'll just go ahead and plug those in. So we have a single family, go to advanced, enter the number of car garage, information here. Now, in the very beginning, I've pointed out 2 things that you should do. One is visit the subject property, so you're able to see what the subject property looks like, the condition of the subject property. And the second was make sure you're familiar with the neighborhood. You know the boundaries of the neighborhood. Now, one other thing I forgot to add is take a picture of the subject property. So when you're physically there, just use your camera or your phone camera, take the picture, the front of the home, the picture of the subject property, and you could then add that picture to your CMA report. It will make your CMA look more professional. So you just go to add photo and make sure the picture is saved somewhere on your computer and just select the picture, right, that you want to use. So you're adding the picture that you've taken with your phone when you visit the subject property, and then use that picture on your CMA. Okay. Once you've added the picture, our next step is to go fetch listings. Fetch listing. This will bring all the listing data into Cloud CMA. And here's the map showing all the comps, our subject property and the comps where they're located. If you wanted to change the order of these comparables, you click on the comp and you can move these comps around, top or bottom, right? And that's how these comps will be listed on your CMA report. If you want to suggest a listing price, right here, you could suggest a price, suggest a listing price. Now, when you're suggesting a listing price, I would recommend not suggesting a set price, but instead come up with a range. So whatever your comfortable range would be that you want to suggest the listing price for, enter that range. So let's say maybe based on our comps, we feel, you know what, the property should be listed between, let's say 690,000, so 690 to maybe the maximum, not to go above say 720, right? And you decide what that comfortable range would be. So you can suggest a range here, and then you decide narrow down to the actual listing price at your listing presentation. So right here, suggesting listing price. Once you've done that, go to customize report. Customized report. Now this is where you would build that template. You decide the content that you wanted to include in your CME report. The first step is to select the theme right here. So you click on the theme. You can select any of the modern themes that are available. So if you're, you're building a CME report, modern themes, right, that are available. If you choose any of the classic themes, only the classic themes will give you an option to have your CMA created in Spanish or English. That's only available on classic themes. Any modern themes will not have that option. So again, you just feel modern or classic themes. So for modern theme, let's say we'll just pick one color, black and gold. Right? So pick any one of the themes that are available. Click choose theme. Once you have selected the theme, the next step is to select a layout of your comparables. Now, layout is where you decide how many pages you want to dedicate for your comparables. The first three layouts here will have one comp on every page. This will be one comp with a property picture and the map. You have one comp with two pictures, one comp with one picture and the property detail. Right. So any of these first three layouts will use one page for every comparable. This will be two comparables on one page, three comparables on one page. The last format, 4-column comparison, will have three comps on every page with the subject property. So there'll be a subject property in the left side, and then three comparables on every page. So you decide which layout you want, right? If you want the subject property information included, choose layout number 4 or 4-column comparison layout. Once you've selected your layout, you've selected a theme. Next step is to go down the list and remove all extra stuff include in your CMA. The more things you include in your CMA, the longer your CMA report will be, right? So you trim the CMA report to the content that you feel will be useful for your client. So typically, I'll just remove all the extra things. Cover letter, maybe remove that if I want it there. You have listing detail, listing chapter. So typically, let me trim down few things here, and I'll show you what I would recommend or what I would typically use in my CMA report. Right. So again, I'm just going to go down the list and remove all these extra things. You have a suggest list price. Again, I'll move the suggested list price here to the bottom, and these are things I would include. Right. I have a title page, and actually contact me page, I'll move that to the very last. So this will be all my contact information, right? So you have a title page, map showing all the comps where they're listed. You have a summary of all the comparables with the listing chapter. So it's just a divider showing you listings, and then listings are shown in the detailed report. Analysis chapter, so again, a divider, and then it will start showing you the analysis. You could also preview any of these pages by simply clicking on the header or the name of the page, and it will show you the content that's included on that report. So you could preview any of these pages before you decide to remove or you decide to include them. So all those pages that you could include are listed right here under standard. So these are all the pages that you could include, right, in your CMA report. So once you have done that, once you have included all the content that you want in your CMA report, simply click on Publish Report. It automatically saves that template. So next time you build a new CMA report, it will have the same content included automatically. You don't need to do anything. But if you wanted to save this template, so meaning you could build a template for buyers CMA, you may build a template for a maybe investor CMA. So if you're maybe doing a CMA report for an investor, maybe you're doing CMA for a seller on a short CMA, long CMA. So you could have different templates built and save those templates, and you could alter between those templates anytime you build a new CMA report. So to save that template, so this is the content that I included in this CMA. So to save this template, I'll just click on template and then enter the name of the template by clicking on save as template right here. Save as template, and I'll enter the name of that template. All right, so I'll just leave it Coldwell Banker, click save, and the template is saved. So next time I'm building a new CMA report, I wanted to change my template. Just click on template, and these are all my templates that are available to me. Right? So all these templates here that are available and in my CMA. So I could pick on these templates. Let me just pause here for a minute. It looks like we have a question from Paul. Nick, can you please briefly show us your adjustment page? Now, adjustments, I didn't really do any adjustments, so adjustments will be done. Let me back here to listings tab, right? So where you arrange all these properties in a particular order. I'm just waiting for that to load up. So back here to this step here, to the listings, there we go. So where do you rearrange the order of these properties and you suggest a price? So that's where you're able to make some adjustments to any of the features that you want to adjust, which is right here. So detail and adjustment. So you go through each one of those comps. I clicked on detail and adjustment, and right here I'll enter the name of that adjustment. Right? So maybe a fireplace, maybe a pool, or maybe remodel kitchen, right? So whatever that adjustment would be, and then you enter the dollar amount, right? Minus or plus. You use a minus symbol to subtract, and just enter the value to add. Right? And I'll add that adjustment. So again, click on pool, minus symbol before it will subtract. Right? So once you have made those adjustments, and then you go to customize report. Customize report, and now you want to select the adjustment page right here. That's under listing, so I wanted to select that adjustment page to be on my CMS. Then it will show me all the adjustments that I made. So if you did made any adjustments, then make sure you include adjustment page. Also, if you suggested a list price, make sure you have suggested price page included. If you don't include suggested price page, it will not show your suggested price on your CMA report. By the way, one thing I forgot to mention at the very beginning, if you want to add any custom pages, maybe you have a net sheet that you created and you want that net sheet to be part of that CMA report and saved as a PDF file, you would upload that net sheet under custom pages. And this is where you could find that net sheet. Where do you update that net sheet or you add that custom page? So within Cloud CMA, and you want to do this before you build a CMA report. Let me, waiting for this to load up.
Are you waiting for that? Can I make a remark,
Yes.
please? As far as the adjustment page and utilizing that, I would make sure if you're going to do that, you really kind of need to know what those valuations are. And I think for most agents, they really don't know the adjustments, so I don't necessarily recommend it. I have some savvy agents that have appraisal backgrounds or, you know, are very experienced. They're able to do it with some certainty, but certainly for newer agents, I would not recommend necessarily utilizing that page.
I totally agree with you, Vicky. I mean, I never really recommend usually. I just wanted to show you guys
Right,
how that's done. But once you start to make those adjustments, overall, your values could be really off
right.
when you make those adjustments. So you need to know what you're doing in order to do that. So back to our custom pages, you click on your picture in the top right corner, go to custom pages right here. Custom pages, and this is where you could add those custom pages, like if it's a net sheet that you're planning to add, or maybe if there's a promotional flyer, or maybe whatever information that you're planning to include in your CMA report, in your reports. So just go in here, so under custom pages, just scroll down. If it's already saved as a PDF document on your computer, just click on upload PDF, right? And the custom page will be included in your CMA. So when you're building your CMA report, go under custom pages, and where you'll see those custom pages available. And you could add those custom pages. Okay. Once all this is done, just simply publish report, and you're done building your CMA report. Right. So once you've created the template, if you've gone through these steps one time and you build a CMA report, next time it'll be very simple. Just few clicks and you build your CMA report. I would recommend everyone to log into Cloud CMA and just build a dummy CMA. Make sure everything is set up. All the content that you're planning to use in your CMA reports already set up. So you're not making those changes when you're actually building a real CMA, right? So just go through a practice CMA, a dummy CMA, just like I did right now. Search for any comparables and then, build a CMA report. So you can save that template. So when you're ready to build a real CMA report, you're not spending a lot of time in adjusting those templates. So this is what the CMA will look like. So if I click on view PDF right here, and this is what the CMA report will look like. So this has happened to be 15 pages long because I've added adjustments. So typically it's 10, 12 pages. So here's a cover sheet. Here's a map showing all my comps. Here's my summary of all my comparables. And I have a listing chapter. So it shows listing, and then I have all my comps. All my comps are included. Here's the adjustment page. That's what it looks like. So it'll be another page added. We'll show all the adjustments they made. So here's again the comp page, and then I have analysis chapter, and it shows me all my analysis. Closing chapter, which will have my suggested listing price at the very end. Okay, and then I have a contact me page. So this is a PDF file. You could print this document, top right corner. You have a choice to print, or you could download this to your computer. Right? That's your PDF version of your CMA report. Now, Cloud CMA had recently, last few months, they've upgraded to another feature, and it's called View Live or Live CMA, which is great for virtual presentations. So if you're doing any virtual listing presentation, you could choose the live option. You could bring this up, the live presentation, and this is what it looks like. I'm just waiting for that to load up. So this is the content that's included in my live presentation right now. You could customize what you want to include in your live presentation by clicking on these three lines, top corner. Click on these three lines, and then you could go to customize. So first you click on those lines, you go to customize. Now you notice there are extra things that I could have added to my CMA. So all these things that are hidden are a lighter color. So all those ones that are not displaying. So I display them by simply clicking on the eye, and it will include that the content to my live CMA. So you could decide what you want to include, what you want to show on live presentation under customize. Once you've done that, click done. Right, once you've made the adjustment, and then just go to start presentation. Right in bottom right corner, click on start presentation. So this is the cover or first page, which talks about what is a CMA. Then I could just click on the next step, comps. So here's all my comps that are included. And the beauty about live version is also it will show you the difference between each one of these comparables. Actually, let me go back here. So it shows you this one has smaller square footage, 7% less square footage to our subject property. 2% less square footage, or lot size, number of bedrooms, bathroom, garage spaces, whatever is different compared to our subject property, you'll see those differences highlighted here. There's also a pen that you could utilize on this presentation. So if you notice on the bottom of my screen, you click on pen, and it's kind of like a highlighter pointer that you could use to, make some comments or or highlight areas, and it will disappear automatically. Right? And these are all my comps. I could see all these comps on the map in the top right corner. I can alter the screen to a map view or to a list view. Right? So you have a map or list view available on here, or comparable view is the one we started off with. So on the top right corner, you could alter these screens. Right? So average listing price, again, some of these statistics that are added, some of the real nice formats are available. Estimated market value of the properties, which is our suggested price that we enter of our property. Again, it shows you the average price per square foot based on all the comps, right? And we'll kind of highlight them on your screen. And then you have online evaluation tool, which will illustrate the sale date, sale price, what the property was estimated on Zillow. So the Zillow's estimate will be shown there, and it will show you the difference and how much that property was actually sold for compared to the estimated estimations on Zillow, which is really good information to share, because a lot of times sellers, they tend to rely or trust some online sources quite a bit, and you can show them if there's a big difference or if it's the same, similar to what they may have seen on Zillow. Time to sell, so again, shows you some other statistics here, and then how the commission will be distributed. And this pyramid here illustrates, if you list a property at the market value, you're looking at approximately 60% of prospective buyers interested in the property. If you go higher than asking price, you would have a smaller pool of prospective buyers. So the percentage of prospective buyers will decline, go higher than the market value of the property, right? And then you have a contact me page or my resume, which I didn't really added nice here. So you could customize all of that under custom pages. Right? So right here, custom pages, this is where you could add all your resume and then all your contact information there. So this is the live CMA presentation that's available on every CMA report. If you wanted to copy the link to the live presentation, right here, so the live presentation, if I wanted to get the link to this presentation, you click on these three dots right here on top right corner of every CMA. You could copy the link to the PDF, or you could copy the link to the live presentation, right? So both of those options are available for them. All your CMAs will stay in Cloud CMA, so there's no expiration date on any of the CMAs. They're never deleted unless you choose to delete that CMA report. So you click on these little three dots and then click delete CMA. Only then the CMA report will be deleted. Otherwise, the CMA will stay in there. If you want to go back and edit the CMA report, maybe you want to make some changes or adjusting some of the pages, then you go to edit. Bottom right corner, click on edit, and then you could go in and make any changes that you need to make, and then click up listings or update CMA on the top right corner, and that will complete your CMA report again. So that is the CMA report that you could create. So publish report will complete the process of any updates you have done on your CMA report. Let me see, there's a question. Is there a way to organize the CMA once created in folders? I'm not understanding the question. In folders, all your CMAs will be listed here based on the newest, on the very top, unless you're talking about customizing the content in the CMA, and you just go under edit, and under customize is where you organize the content that you want. The only other thing will be downloading the CMA report and saving to your computer. And if you want to organize, or you wanted to have saved on your computer, but in Cloud CMA, they're always saved. They're never deleted unless you choose to delete that CMA.
So Nick,
I don't know. Yes.
To be clear, so in that one screen where you have all the CMAs listed, like say that once we've created it and we've shared it, can we say these are completed CMAs or these are pending CMAs? Are we able to organize these in a way that is a little bit more?
Yeah. Yes, I can now understand. Yeah, there's no way to really organize or change the order of these CMAs. They're typically saved based on when they were created, right? So the date that you created, it will show you if the CMA has been looked at, if it's been viewed. So as you can notice here, it says number of views this CMA had, But again, I don't think that answers what you were looking for on the CMA. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to organize them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's the last feature I wanted to show you guys real quick. It's a really great tool for generating leads. Let's see here. Okay. So right here on the top right corner on your picture. So if you click on your picture, go to lead generation. If you are very heavy on social media, or if you have your personal website, I would recommend using this feature, right, on social media, on website, or even on your email signatures. Many agents do that on email signatures. So this is the landing page that it opens up to, how much your home is worth. So if someone wants to get a quick CMA report from you, analysis of their property, how much the property is currently worth. So if you share this link, which is again, click on your picture and lead generation, and you could just copy the link right here. Click copy link, and that copies the link. So this is what that page will open up to wherever you share that link. So if a person wants to request a quick CMA from you, they will just type in the address of their property. Right. So again, I'm using this as a potential seller. Right. So I'll enter my name as a seller and my email address. Right. Phone number, square footage, optional. So once I click on email my report as a seller, within 30 seconds, I will receive a CMA report from Cloud CMA. Let me show you guys what that looks like. So here's the CMA report. Come on. What is that? It's junk mail. Where is that? Let's see here. There you go. Here's my CMA report, a complimentary CMA. So this is the email that your seller, potential seller, will receive. Just waiting for that to load up. It says, "Hey, James Smith, thank you for requesting a quick CMA. Here it is, and here's a link to the CMA report." So once James clicks on that link, it will open to a CMA. Right? And this is only 12 pages. Notice on the top left corner, 12 pages. This is a cover sheet of my CMA. Here's a letter that I've included that all my sellers will see when they receive that. So this is where you could kind of explain that this is just an initial CMA report. This is not, I mean, you will discuss further details to really pin down the actual listing price of the property. So you could, whatever you wanted to share with your potential seller, you could write a letter and you could include that letter, which will be sent out automatically. Here's a map showing all the comps. So it's very similar format to the CMA that we just built earlier. So here's my comps that are included on the CMA report, analysis chapter, and sold property analysis, and then contact me page. So this CMA report goes out immediately, and the second email is sent to the to the agent. So if you are the agent who shared that link, you will also receive an email, and that email will be titled New Lead. So you're going to receive James' information, his email address, if you enter the phone number, and you're going to receive the same link to the CMA that was sent to James. So you're able to see the comps that were sent out and the CMA report that was sent out. So two emails are sent out, one to the seller, potential seller, and the other to the agent. Both parties will receive that CMA report. So that's a lead generation feature that's available to you in Cloud CMA. Now, how do I customize the content that should be included in my CMA report? So how do I decide what I wanted to include in my CMA report? Only one time you want to save a template in Cloud CMA. Here are a couple steps. I will go through in less than a minute, real quick, showing you what are the steps that you could go through saving that template. So you just want to create a dummy CMA. Just log right into Cloud CMA. You don't need to be in Matrix to search real comps. Just go into Cloud CMA, click on Create CMA Report, go through a few steps, and build a CMA report. So just enter the name of any person. So we'll just say James Smith. Right. Use any property. It doesn't have to be a real property here. So you just use any property that you like. Right. Use any property. And the next thing is you wanted to check this box right here, automatically find listings. Right? Automatically find listings for your comps. Click on fetch listings. Let's see here. All right, so once I found some comparables, just go to customize right here. As you notice, the same steps we went through building a CMA report, go to customize. Now, this is where you would decide your theme, decide your layout, just like you did originally on your CMA report, and then remove all the extra content that you don't want in your CMA. Now, if you've already gone through building a CMA report and you follow those steps that we went through and creating a CMA report, you would notice the same pages, the same content that you included in the last CMA will already be there, right? But if you want to make some adjustments, maybe you want to remove a few things that you don't want in that auto CMA report, or you want to add something, you go ahead and do that. The last step is to save that template. So I've shown you how to save that template with the Coldwell Banker name. So in this case, you will save the template, but you name that template right here. Click on Save Template. You would name the template Web Lead. It has to be capital W and then capital L. Web Lead, 2 words. Click Save, and that once that template is saved, now if you go through that CMA report or the how much your home is worth CMA, it will use the content that you saved in that template. That's how Cloud CMA will know the content that it should use on that CMA report. So again, the key is to save that template with the name Web Lead. So that once you've done that, click Publish Report and you're done. Right? So your template is saved. All right, guys, so that was the last thing I wanted to just share with you guys, the lead generation feature. Any questions, anyone?
I will
All
tell
right,
you,
guys, look,
I like that lead generation. I did not know. I did not know that that was there. So thank you.
yeah, many
Add to my
agents don't
training.
know that. So
I'll add that
thank
to
you.
my training.
Thank you. Here's one last thing I would like to add to you guys, and this tool may not be available to all agents. I know we have agents from all different associations. There is a tool, if you see it right here on your association dashboard, and it's called Savvy Card. I don't know if any of you guys have used that product or heard of Savvy Card. It's a great tool, guys. And it's offered to you by local association. I know PWR does offer that tool. Orange County does. There are several associations. Most of our associations do offer that tool, Savvy Card. What Savvy Card is a digital business card. So if you do see, I recommend that you log in and set up your profile, customize your profile, and we'll send you your business card on your phone, right? So you basically have a digital business card on your phone that you can share with anyone via text message, and it helps you generate more leads, right? And especially it's great for when you list a new property in the MLS for your marketing, your listing. It's a great way to market your listing on the social media, and it's called Savvy Card. Derek, it's Savvy, S-A-V-V-Y, S-A-V-V-Y card, C-A-R-D, Savvy Card. You should see it here on your association dashboard. I don't see it because I'm not with a particular association, but if you have it, you would find it under your association dashboard. All right, guys, that will be it for me. And just one last thing, if you guys, if any of you guys want to schedule a one-on-one training with me, please reach out to me. My email address is nick@crmls.org, and I'll add my email address here in the chat, nick@crmls.org. Or if any of you guys have any questions on things I've covered today, please reach out to me via email, nick@crmls.org. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.